Hello everyone and welcome to another video and welcome to the BMW 318i. So in the last video I had mentioned that the next video will be about a drive in this car. Well, basically that is what it is happening right now. I'm sorry for the sun. I am going to give some initial impressions about this car, although I must say that I have driven this car extensively. Like I've already driven about 1400 kilometers in about 2 weeks. So yeah, that's how much I've been driving this car, and the first impressions are it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So what we're gonna do is basically we're gonna go on a drive and have a very quick first impressions. Let me show you how it is. Hello everyone. Let me just. Oh, it's just too hot. Whoop. Sorry about it. It's the seat belt. And there you go. Now that's first annoying thing. And I mean, it's feature. I get it, but it gets a bit annoying if you don't wear the seat belt, and the warning just keeps going on. The first things first. I've come to this area called as Dibba. It's a beautiful location just located outside the city of Fujairah, and as you can see behind me is the sea, and you can literally take your car right up to the beach. Let me just get my way out from here. My car is all dirty because it's UAE and the dust keeps blowing pretty much majority of the times. As you may have noticed, I'm in my spectacles because I'm driving and I need to be safe. Right there, so the first impressions of this car, and to be honest with you, it's a very good car. Although starting off with, it's got an engine which is about 1.5 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged, and because of that it feels a little underpowered sometimes, because let's say when you are about to overtake someone or you need power instantly, it takes a while before the turbocharger kicks in, but the power delivery is pretty linear. And because the car is quite heavy, so the engine feels very small, which is, by the way, from a Mini Cooper. Yes, the Mini Cooper engine, which has been turbocharged and put into this. So yeah, that's basically the reason why this car feels a little underpowered sometimes, especially when you're on a highway. And considering that UAE roads have pretty much all the roads are about 100 or maybe 140, so that is why the power demand is quite a lot. Now we just stopped at a junction. Now coming to a junction, let me talk about another annoying feature. So there's this auto cutoff thing that basically when you're standing at a traffic light, the car, the computer on board switches off the engine in order to save the fuel. So what happens is every single time that you stop, the car just thinks that you are at a junction and it just switches off. And I can make do with that as well. Sorry about that. But every single time the car thinks that you are at a junction, so it just switches off the engine. And there is a button that lets you basically override that system. But the annoying part is the car doesn't remember every single time. Okay. So every single time that so every single time I have to switch it off whenever I sit in the car, and that gets a little annoying because I want my car to remember, oops, a tunnel. But anyways, it's a tiny engine, so we can't really make noise. So every time you have to do that, and the car just doesn't remember. So every time I have to switch it off and the car wouldn't just remember. Now that gets a bit of annoying. So BMW, just make sure to correct that. And the drive, the handling is just amazing. It is so precise. I mean, whenever I know I've driven different cars, and especially the SUVs, and when you drive an SUV you have a fear of rolling over, but that's quite obvious. But when you sit in a sedan, I've driven an Altima before, and coming to this one, I can feel a lot of difference in the steering, because immediately the car points in the direction that you want. Although I would say it's a little less responsive, and I sometimes don't know what exactly is going on when I am turning, and for that reason the feedback is a little on the downside. But all of that removed, the car still handles really well, especially on a roundabout, or especially in UAE where you have a lot of roundabouts. And at that speed, I know I can go like 10-20 kilometers compared to the Altima, because I think basically it's because of the shorter wheelbase, and also the way this car has been designed. Now there are some manufacturers that make brakes so sensitive. I mean, the moment you step on the pedal, the brake pedal, the calipers just grip the disc brakes and it just stops. Not in this case. This one is very different. Now whenever you just brake, so there's like a softness to the pedal, which I really like, which is basically, if you race, you know that a softer pedal is what you want, because you have a tendency at high speeds to really push the brake harder than usual. And if your travel is very less, or if in other case, if your brakes are very sensitive, then it immediately just slows your car down. But this car is really good. It's really good. I mean, I was surprised at how nicely the pedal configuration is. BMW, well done on that department. Seating, I mean, seating is nice. I wish the seats were a little more softer, so on the long journeys it gets a bit tiring, to be honest. I mean, I've driven this car non-stop for 2 hours, and after 2 hours I was literally tired. So on that department, I think, yeah, the seats need to be a bit more softer. But anyways, it can comfortably seat 4 people. As you can see, the bench seats behind, they can sit 5 people, but I don't think 5 people can really sit comfortably. I mean, 4 people is easily what you can make people sit in this car, but 5, unless the 5th person is really slim. One good thing is that even though you're cruising at 160, the noise, the NVH levels are really low in this cabin. Again, I've driven an Altima, and Altima is not a really bad car, considering that it's a huge car with all the comforts and safety features and every single thing. But compared to this car, yeah, it was pretty noisy. But this car is so quiet. It's so, I mean, right now you can't really think that I'm going at 80-90 kilometers, but the air, the whooshing noise, anything, even the engine noise is pretty damn low. So yeah, I think that's a good thing in that department. So yeah, I mean, engine I can forgive, like BMW, because yeah, this is like a base version of BMW, and for that reason it cannot be like that powerful. And because the whole point of 318 is that it has to be a very affordable car, so yeah, that's, I think, pretty much it. I think as we drive more and more, I'm gonna come to know about all the different the features and the drive experience, but these are just the initial few impressions about the car. That, oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I'm gonna show you all in the B-roll the entire footage that you can see the view from here. Oh, it's amazing. There is another point. So the fuel tank. I think it's a little bit tiny because considering it's just 60 liters, and I've had to fill it a lot if you go on a longer journeys. Although it does give you a decent amount of 13 to 14 kilometers per liter. That's the average. Yes, I've managed. And this is kind of a mixed driving in the city and outside the city on a highway. So yeah, I mean, considering that, it's a very good car because again, the tiny engine is where this works. So I mean, the balance is really good. So yeah, I think as more and more we start driving this car, I'm gonna get more used to it. I'm gonna start finding more the more features, more things that I don't like. But apart from that, right now, I think this car is really good on a budget. Because let's be honest, yes, this is a budget car from BMW, but it doesn't feel like a budget car because it's been made so well that you wouldn't really miss the other features of the cars. And also the whole layout of this car is very good. I mean, I like less electronics, distracting while I'm driving, and it's pretty straightforward where you just press a button and everything is there. You have just straightforward sports and eco mode and comfortable mode, all of that. So you don't really have to think about a lot when you're driving about how do I put the modes on, or like other cars where you have complicated electronic bits and where you have to really concentrate even if you want to change an FM station. But in that case, this car comes really alive. I'm again getting off at the beach because I really like this view, and I'm gonna sit down here for a while and just enjoy this view. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this first impressions of my car, and there are many more videos to come, and there'll be more of a detailed review. But for now, this is what I think is good and bad about the car. But overall, I think it's a very good buy if you're planning to, because BMW is pretty good with handling, and that is what they are for. Make sure to subscribe because I'm gonna go on so many drives. Oops, I'm sorry. Yeah, because I've not put the car in park. So yeah, it keeps reminding you. So give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and make sure to subscribe because there are more and more adventures going to come in this car, and there are more collaborations with different people. Also make sure to follow my Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, because I'll be posting all the updates and the photos on this car and various other events that I attend. Until we meet next time, bye bye.